Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Samson. Wow. Good evening, Singapore.
Good evening.
You know, okay. Let's go back for a second. You know, we have actually 60 people, international delegation that came here to celebrate this incredible event here in Singapore. Not too often in life that we have an opportunity to be a part of something as big as what was just shown you. And you might not get it right now. And the Singapore that I knew, I've been to Singapore quite many times. And, you know, this is the first time since the last couple of years I've been back. But I know that Singaporeans, there's a fire, there's a spark in the heart of Singaporeans. So can we have a proper greeting for, not for me, for our fellow international delegation here? So can we have a little sparky Singaporean to come out of here? So can we say, hello, Singapore? Can we respond and go, hello, okay? So hello, Singapore.
Hello!
Wow, okay, it's getting a little better. You know, I'm grateful for your presence here tonight. This is a very special event here for me. Because in my career of 30 years in direct selling industry, Singapore plays a major role in Southeast Asia. And as well as for me in my past career and with the previous platform. I've been here so many times. I love this country and I love the people over here. Such a clean city and people are very highly educated. And so, you know, by saying that, I want to ask this question. You know, how many of you came here because you are looking or seeking for something that's more meaningful than what you've known your entire life? How many of you wanted something a little bit more meaningful than what you know and than what you are doing right now, without changing whatever you're doing? You don't have to commit anything. We don't have to sign a contract, nothing, okay? But just as a fellow human being talking to you, how many of you are seeking for something a little bit more meaningful than what you've been used to? Show of hands. Thank you. Now this is Singaporean spirit I'm seeing right now, okay? So, I want to share with you guys why we're here and why 3. And why there's 60 people, like Samson and a few people have spoken about why they chose this platform. And I want to share with you from my perspective why. You know, Samson had mentioned that we actually had built a company 13 and a half years ago. We started in my kitchen. You know, there's 5 of us that started from my kitchen table. And we went out there and we had a dream of, you know, building an international business, an international company, and, you know, creating many multi-millionaires. And so we started off in 2009. And I could tell you that 13 and a half years later, it went from 0. We built a brand that went from 0 to become a $10 billion company. And with those kind of volume, with those kind of zeros, there were thousands of people across the globe that became financially free, totally financially free. And so what happens when you get the money issue out of the way? What happens, have you ever thought about if let's just say that, let me ask this audience, to our Singaporean right here tonight. If money is not the issue, what do you suppose, have you ever asked yourself the question, if money is no longer the issue, meaning you no longer have to get up every day to go to your work, your job, or do your business, what might you be doing? Have you ever asked you guys this question? Hello? Hello? Come on, Singaporean. Okay, now. Am I talking to myself? Now you're laughing. Okay, that's good. I get you to laugh. So, for me, in 2000, you know, maybe I can just backtrack a little bit and tell you how I came into the space of network marketing. You know, just like many immigrants, you know, just like very similar background with Samson. My parents, except he grew up in a little wealthier family than mine was, okay? My parents, my mom and dad have 4 girls. I'm number 2 of 4. And so I was born in China, but raised in Hong Kong. And so when I was very young, my parents said, you know what, listen, there are 4 girls. If 4 girls were to stay in Hong Kong, all 4 girls would have ended up to be factory girls, would have ended up in working factory. Because back in those days, the chances of having 4 girls to go to college was slim to none in Hong Kong. So mom and dad borrowed money. It's just a divine calling. We were able to come to America. But mom and dad had to borrow airfare to go to America. So mom and dad borrowed money from my dad's sister, which is my aunt, borrowed money for the airfare. With $2,000 in the pocket, we started a new life in America. The only thing my mom wanted for the 4 girls was to graduate from college, which we all did. And after graduation from college, I worked in corporate America for 10 years. I worked for one of the Fortune 500 companies in America, a company called Northrop Grumman. How many of you heard about a B-2 bomber, the aerospace company? Well, that's a company I used to work for. So long story short, I worked in corporate America for 10 years, and just when I thought I was at the height of my corporate career, I was downsized. I got laid off. Didn't know what I was gonna do. All I knew was a friend of mine says, Kim, I'm gonna help you. So I thought he was gonna help me find a job. So he invited me to a meeting just very similar to this. And I was all decked out, not like this. I was in suits back then. I was all decked out. And I thought I was showing up for an interview. But instead, when I showed up, there was like a couple of hundred people there. I was like, oh my gosh, I got competition. And that was the first time I got introduced to network marketing. And I still recall, I saw 2 things at the meeting that day. It was a day meeting. And the first thing I saw was average people, ordinary people, doing extraordinary stuff in their life. And second thing I saw glimpses of hope in people's eyes. And so I thought to myself, I have worked for someone for 10 years and got nothing to show for. I said, what have I got to lose? So long story short, I got started, I got really excited. Then I went home. And most of you, when you get started in something, you got excited, you go home, you share with your loved ones, right? So that's what I did. I went home. First person I told was someone that I love and respected tremendously, which is my elder sister, who's got her MBA from USC and all that. And she looked at me, she goes, wait 1 minute. Do not tell me you got sucked into one of those deals. Now, how many of you got your friends and relatives said that to you about that? And so I still remember, my sister said that out of love and care about me. My sister said, Kim, you are an accountant. You know nothing about sales. Sales is not your cup of tea. This is what you need to do. You need to call them and you need to cancel and get a refund. And so as a good sister, and after she told me, so you know what, that kind of makes sense. She goes, nobody make money in those kind of things. Don't get sucked in. And so I called my sponsor and I said, listen, I made a mistake. I have no money. I have no job. I need to cancel. And he goes, Kim, before you cancel, the only thing I ask you to do is go to attend a meeting. If after you attend a training that you still want to get a refund, I promise you, I'll help you process for refund. So I said, well, that's fair enough. So on a Saturday morning, I went to attend a training. Now at the training, the trainer at that time, was a middle-aged man. Now I gotta be very careful calling someone middle-aged, because now I'm middle-aged, okay? So at that time, he was about my age. He was talking very calm, very slowly. I'm like, oh my goodness, if he can do it, so can I. And so I went and asked my sponsor, I said, listen, can you really make money in this industry? He goes, of course. And I said, well, what's the max someone can make in this industry? And I still remember, this is like as if it's yesterday. He told me, Kim, the max at that time, this is now 30 years ago. He goes, at that time, the maximum, the iconic figure at that time was making about $1 million a month, US dollar. So I go, wow, okay, $1 million a month. That's about 12 million a year. Would you say it's pretty substantial?
Yeah.
How many of you know of traditional businessmen people that can make $1 million a month in US dollar? Sometimes when we ask questions, it kind of planted a seed. And the seed was planted for me at that time 30 years ago. It's unspoken, but that goal of $1 million a month was planted in my head. Did I make it the first year? No. Did I make it the second year? No. Third year? No. Fourth year? No. But I was very blessed. In 2016, 2017, around there, I had to experience what it feels like to have $1 million and then some hitting my bank account month after month, year after year. But it took a lot of years of work. Do you want to know how it feels to make that kind of money every single month? See, these are Canadians, you know. Hello, Singapore. What excites you in Singapore, really? Anything excites you guys in Singapore? Should we talk about money? Is it acceptable we talk about money?
Yes.
What about we talk about something more than money? What about we talk, because money is just a tool. What about we talk about impacts for humanity? Is that all right with you? You know, when I had the blessing of making $1 million a month, every single month, month after month, it came to a point, you know, shopping after a while, you don't want to. I actually dress up for you guys in Singapore. Seriously. This is my 4th week. Thank you. Thank you. This is made for Singapore, okay? You know, this is actually my 4th or 5th week on the road. In the last 3 weeks, I was in North America, traveling, I don't know how many cities. Then last week, we were in, I don't know where it was, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and then Singapore right now. Another couple of more days to go, and then I go home. You know, times have really changed. And so, coming back to this, is that when I was an entrepreneur, when you start making money, and we have a lot of ladies in the room, when you start making money, what do you want to do? You buy like fancy shoes, right? You buy fancy handbags. And after you buy all those stuff, you're happy for maybe like, I don't know, a couple of hours. Then the excitement kind of wears out. Then you buy fancy clothes. Then our appetite kind of grew a little bit, and you buy fancy jewelries, all the bling bling, and then the watches, right? The ladies are laughing. Isn't it the girl's dream, isn't it? And so after you buy all that stuff, you know, when you're making $1 million a month, before you even spend it, the money comes. So, I mean, whatever you buy, fancy cars, all that stuff. Now, I don't even drive fancy cars. I want low-key cars. I don't even wear any bling-bling no more. I don't wear no high heels. I don't even wear any fancy handbags. I wear a backpack. It's just life. And so, once you get the money issue out of the way, for me in 2017, I begin to question, why am I brought here? What is the next chapter of my life? What am I here to do? You know, oftentimes we are so caught up in survival. We're so caught up in making a living, so caught up in making money, that we forgot why we truly came to earth for. But it's kind of like an interesting thing in life. You have to get the money issue out of the way to really, some people, at least for me, got the money issue out of the way for me to tap into, which is a lot more impact, which is a lot more meaningful for me. So at that time in 2017, I began to ask, what is this whole thing? I was pretty okay financially. I would say I was pretty wealthy, put it that way, okay? But I wasn't happy. And I said, what am I doing? Do I want to continue my path, leading people about building businesses, and yet can't feel that impact in my heart? You know, yes, we were able to make the impact helping other people to have financial freedom. But still, I was seeking something that I was yearning for something that has a deeper meaning, something a lot more fulfilling than money. And so I told myself, many people say, Kim, you need to come out and do business again. I said, no. If I were to ever come out again, it has to come from the space of love and has to come from a space of contribution. And you know, sometimes when you ask the question, when you're pondering on your next chapter, bless you, when you're pondering those questions, you know, we expect the answer to come immediately. Well, it didn't come immediate for me. I started asking those questions since 2017. And so LA got a little too busy, too noisy for me. So I began to move to a smaller city, a place where Gary's talked about. He's from Sedona, Arizona. How many of you been to Sedona, Arizona, Singaporeans? How many of you been to Sedona? Only a few hands went up. Well, Sedona is really a beautiful place. Many seekers around the world will go to Sedona. So I fell in love with Sedona. I actually moved there half the time and lived there in quiet solitude. And so in my search, I kept asking since 2016, 2017. And it came to me September of last year, when I was hiking on the land you saw in the film, when I was hiking on the land, I asked myself, what can I do? How can I be of service to humanity? And it was at that time, at that moment, it says, you know what? We all need to come together to be the voices of hope for humanity. That we all need, the humanity timing for a line of products that can help people to mitigate, to minimize some of the negative impact that took place the last couple of years. I was praying for something. And so, fast forward that, in, I think it's October or November, I woke up one morning, I was called to resign from something I had built and I worked for 14 years. And let me preface by saying this, that in my search in 2017 onward, I often ask myself this question: what was I willing to do for the impact I was looking for? The question I asked myself, was I willing to walk away from that stream of income that kept coming? Was I willing to give all that up for something that can be of major impact and contribution? And the answer was a resounding yes. And so when it came one morning, I woke up and says, you know what, you need to walk away. And I did. I walked away at that time without knowing the name of the company, the product line, or the compensation plan. I felt called to do this because I kept asking, what can I do? And I knew that I was gifted in this industry, in the space that we're in. You know, it's not too often in a lifetime that you get to build something from your kitchen table to become a $10 billion company. And many people financially have reaped the reward. But I wanted something more. And it was time. And so that's how this whole thing 3 came about. And 3 could mean different things to different people. But what 3 meant to me was 3 things. First, physical wellness. How many of you want to feel better than what you're feeling right now? Show hands. It should be all the hands have gone up. Don't you want to feel better than how you're feeling? Someone says, oh, I feel great right now. Well, how do you know you couldn't feel better than how you're feeling right now? So physical wellness. Because I don't care how much money you have. If all those zeros without that 1 means what? Nothing. So physical wellness was one of the 3. Second thing is financial wellness. Having, look, we still live in a 3D world right now. People say, listen, I don't care what you say, we still need to make money. So financial wellness is very important. Like I said earlier, money is just a tool to do things what's deeply meaningful in your heart. And number 3 is the most important thing, which is spiritual wellness. How many people you know of that might have money, but spiritually they are bankrupt? Do you know people around you that have money, but spiritually they're bankrupt? Do you know? Some people, do they have people like that in Singapore?
Yes. Yes.
Singapore. Someday we'll come here, we'll do a different kind of training. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get there. Okay, all right. That's an inside joke. All right, okay, so 3 things. Because, oftentimes when we talk about spirituality, a lot of people think of it as a religion and all that. To me, how many of you heard the saying that says, success is an inside job?
Yeah. Yes.
Success indeed is an inside job.
Yeah.
Success is manifested, it has to be done 3 times. First, it has to be done by your imagination. You have to imagine or having the ability, the vision to see what success means to you. So it has to be done, that's in the metaphysical world, that's in the quantum. Second, it has to be done in the mental space, meaning you write it down. You speak it into existence. And the third part is through action. You gotta go do it, right? First, you gotta think it. How many of you think that you will be or you can be successful in this lifetime? How many of you can be? If you don't, it's okay. Work it. Begin to think it. Because all that potential, that's potentiality, it exists. All potentiality exists in this space. The key thing is in this platform is learning how to manifest that potentiality into reality. So it has to manifest 3 times. Having the vision to be able to imagine it, to think it, then speak it, write it down, speak it into existence. The third part is in the physical reality, meaning we gotta work it. And I know this, and I do want to come back. To me, 3 is an incredible business platform. But to me, it's even more than that. It's an incredible human being. It's an incredible life-enriching platform that helps you to manifest. You know, look, the products are phenomenal, but those are just tools. If you truly want to manifest that potentiality of which you want, and to bring it to this world, this is a platform on which you can do it. Not only a platform, you have the people that have done it and that are willing to teach and to share. You know, I tell you, I watch these beautiful people. They just arrived Hong Kong yesterday. And then they left early morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, for the airport to come to Singapore. They don't need to do that. Most of you, you guys are not in their business line. They pour their heart out. I really want a Singaporean humanity to open your heart out. Products are absolutely, this line of product are the best product I have ever seen in my 30-year career in the wellness space. Absolute best. If you open your heart and open your mind, let these incredible whole food nutrients pour into your heart. That blessing will go into your body for the physical wellness. These people pour their heart out. And as I was sitting back there, I want my fellow humans in Singapore to really open your heart. Not only to hear the words, I watch them pouring their heart out, speaking that possibility into existence for the people here in Singapore. If instead of them talking, I just watch them pour all that out. If there is a way, and I know the technology already existed right here in this room. If you could just imagine this, if you want, you can close your eyes. Sometimes our eyes deceive us. Most of us are taught to see things. If you could see things, then you believe. But there are times the most powerful things not through your eyes are felt in your heart. So if you want, you can close your eyes. I know the technology already exists right here for humanity. Okay? If you can just not only hear the words that we're speaking, but the energy signature behind the words we're speaking. If you could feel our heart, feel why we are here. Why do we have to travel all this crazy 1,000 miles on and off the plane, traveling on this Asia tour? Why do we have to do that? I hope you see our intention. This global wellness movement that we want to bring to this country right here to you guys. I know that technology already existed, but it's over the years of the conditioning, the paradigm, the so-called education that taught us only to see it right here and to ignore the heart and the gut. That's where your brain is. Your true ability to your not the adaptive, but the innate that we're born with. And I think this is time humanity need to change. That not too often times you have the opportunity. Look, you have a group of people. Not only did I walk away from 13 and a half years of work. I have 40 people around the world. These are anywhere between $1 million to multi-million-dollar earner. They resigned and walked away from something they built for 14 years for a project that humanity right now needs. At age 58, I don't need to travel like this. At age 50, money-wise, I'm blessed. I only have one child. Well, he's not a child no more, he's in college now. We are blessed. But I have seen the last 4 weeks, traveling through North America and Asia. I've heard stories, seen people, touch people, how these line of products impact their lives. Guys, opportunities are never lost. If you don't grab it, it simply went to someone else. I know what it feels like. I know what it takes to build a company from zero to become $1 billion, $5 billion, $10 billion. We've done it before, but we're here to do it again. But this time, a lot more meaningful. Because we know what it takes. Samson didn't need to be doing this, traveling all over. He's in his 50s. So I hope that you value what you have. Some of you in this room will hear us, not only here, but you heard the message from here. And you said, you know what? I want to be a part of this. I want to help me, myself, my family, people around me to be healthier, to have abundance in their lives, and also more importantly, to make the impact. You know, people think, well, what is that spirituality? When you work the business, the 3D result is you get money, you get financial reward. But beyond the 3D world, you're going to enter a world that you're going to work on your own spirituality, of your own spiritual wellness. Success, it is spiritual work. It takes spiritual work to achieve true success and sustainable success in life. For me, all those zeros, all those money that I was blessed to make, that's just, I can't take a penny with me. When God says, you know, Kim, it's time for you to check out, I cannot take a penny with me. I cannot take any houses, any cars, nothing. We came naked, we go naked. But through our existence, I hope that we have put a little ripple in the pond and make a positive impact to humanity. And if this message resonates with you, turn to the person and say, you know what, I want to be a part of this. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you don't get it yet, you know what, try the product. Get yourself to be healthier, feeling better about life. Because 3 will become a household name. Question is, do you want to be a part of it? Do you want to help us to go out there and make a positive impact to humanity? So I'm very grateful for my friends who travel tirelessly for this Asia tour. And I'm also very grateful for the people that behind the scene planning, organizing, volunteering for this event. So can I borrow your hands of my fellow Singaporeans? Can I have all the international people? Because tonight you are sitting in at the right place, at the right time, with the right company, with the right product, but more importantly, with the right people. With that, thank you so much. We're looking forward to coming back to Singapore. Thank you so very much.